Hello everybody, Drew here, tip of the Mint Flips, where I'm a full-time eBay reseller, and every 100 subscribers there's a giveaway. So if you're watching, make sure you subscribe so you have a chance to win. I've got a bunch of orders going out today, and some really good ones. Another fantastic sales day. I can start to feel fourth quarter in the background, and it feels good. I took 2 shipping days off just to do that final push before fourth quarter and just focus strictly on listing. It wasn't anything crazy, nothing you need to know about, except, where are they? Where did I put them? These things right here. That I was bummed because I had a bunch of them, they weren't selling, these window kits. But in my area and surrounding areas, it got cold. We went camping, one of the days was 85. Every day after, overnight temps in the 40s. So it went from, here's your last chance at summer, kids were swimming, to, nope, it's over. It's fall, winter, put away all the stuff, put away the pool, put away the toys, it's over. So I sold, over that time period where I didn't film, sold a pile of those, like 15 of them, and I'm selling them at almost a loss. It's like I sold some that were at a loss, 50-cent loss, something like that. Some that were break even, some were making $1 or $2. And the reason is they just need to go. I've had them listed for a long time. It was a bad buy. I lowered the price over the summer. Of course, they weren't going to sell over the summer because you put them over your windows to keep the cold out and the air out, if you don't know. But now they're selling like crazy because it's cold. It's that time. And I said I was in a hurry, and then I get to jibber jabbing. First thing going out, Lord of the Rings Battle of Middle Ages? No, of course not. Battle of Middle Earth. Battle for Middle Earth right there. Had this sitting around forever with all the games. I think I bought it in a bulk lot of Xbox games, maybe PlayStation 2 games, not PC games, which that is. And unfortunately, it didn't come with, it has a, what would you call it, like a code so that you can play the game online. It's just the discs, or else with the codes, probably would have got $150 for it, but without the codes, just the discs, $76 free shipping. I had it listed $99.99. I was going to take whatever offer came in, and that was the first offer I got, and I said, yep, that's great, because that was sitting around collecting dust. Like I said, I bought it in a big box that I paid $20 for the whole box, including either a PS2 or an Xbox. I don't remember which one. So that was free, basically. So $76, that's great money. Next thing going out, 2 of them to the same buyer. We haggled a little bit and then landed on a price we were both comfortable with. First one, B1, is American Optical AO Full View. But let me just grab the whole box because I'm going to need it for the next one. I'm guessing they're a collector of some kind. The only other option I could think of ever, which is always my hope, is that there's some type of period piece movie or TV show, and they're buying from me specifically for that. Jen and I both, we do a thing now, I'm sure most other resellers do it, where you're watching some type of period piece or whatever. You're watching some type of TV or film, TV or movie, what am I, 1,000 years old, TV or film, and you'll spot something and be like, I sold one of those, or I've got one of those in my store, and whenever you're like, I sold one of those, did I sell them that one? Was it me? Is that mine? Lots of times it's Corningware, Pyrex stuff, you see that on a kitchen table, which I never would have thought twice about the servingware in a movie, and now I see it every time. I go, well, I could have sold that, could have been me. I did one time sell a set of mugs to Good Morning America. That's a true story. Could have been like CBS This Morning. It was one of those. It was one of the morning shows. By the address, I knew it was the actual morning show, not some subsidiary something else. And that was neat. Didn't do anything for me in my day. Let's get back to this. I drank a half a mini Coke. So, you know, I told you about how I don't do well with caffeine. So we both get to ride that ride today. Had some good suggestions for replacements. I'm going to start trying them slowly, because you never know. You could have a bad reaction to something. But let's get these. I think it's both the ones with the cases. So let's see. All right, well, this is the next one I'm going to pull. And this one is COC eyeglasses, 110 12 karat with case and cleaning cloth, vintage spectacles, $34.50 free shipping. And then these are both free shippers. So you know I love combining free shippers because then that saves me money. Saving money means making money. And yes, this is the other one because it has a case, of course, now I see. And these are very cool. They're like, they're almost, and I mean so close to being octagon. They're very geometric shaped glasses, geometric shaped lenses. But these ones right here, American Optical AO full view 12 karat eyeglasses, wire frames with case, vintage, $20 free shipping. And those ones have a little crack in the lens, probably why they were so cheap. And the glasses I got in a Mikhail mystery box, which it came in this literal box, but it was neat because I was like, oh cool, it's a little Kodak camera. And then I opened it up and it was a bunch of glasses that ended up being worth a bunch of money. Next thing going out on C4 is a Sony Dream Machine alarm clock in white. I used to sell the Sony Dream Machines on the regular. I probably have sold 30 of these. But another one of those items that during lockdowns got flooded and it's over. Because for that item, $6.99 plus shipping, I sent out an offer. Even if that was free, that's not worth listing. Also, because the shipping, because that's a pretty old listing, I could have been off on the shipping, and I must have been. I'll probably make some money there. But $16.10, so the fees on this item, this $7 item, are $23.10, 15% roughly of $23.10 on a $7 item. Those fees, eats it up, ain't worth it. Won't ever do that again. Next up, B3B is a Warner Brothers Looney Tunes Elmer Fudd B3B. All right, that right there, it was buried on the bottom. I needed both hands. But Elmer Fudd, it's like a flexible vinyl figure. Okay, I thought I just broke it, but it's the head, it does pivot, and it's not a solid connection. So, whew, lucky there. Took an offer, $12 free shipping. I think that was actually listed $15.99, something like that. But for what it is, I'll take that money and run. $12 free shipping. Next thing going out, Captain America for Xbox 360. I did switch over to, because I had listed all those PS2 games, and then I finally switched over and started doing the Xbox ones. I got all the regular Xbox, and then this was the most expensive 360 game, so I went ahead and listed this one as well, and then I'll hopefully sell a few this week, and then have space for the rest of them. For that game right there, and especially for 360. Xbox 360, as far as all the systems go, is one of the worst for games, just because it was around so long. I think there was so many copies of every game made, because they would have the original, and then they would have like the Platinum Edition, and they'd have like the Greatest Hits Edition. So usually Xbox 360, not a ton of money, but that game, $26.99 free shipping. That's great. And then next up, A3 is vintage Tupperware, A123 stacking measuring cups in yellow, right here, or Harvest Gold, I think also is what they would call that. Harvest Yellow is what it's listed as. $14.39 free shipping. That was probably on sale, 10% off. But speaking of Tupperware, I did get a couple crates down here, these red ones. I was hoping I'd be able to fit 3 across the bottom here, and I could but not one of these red ones. I'd have to find a more narrow one. I relocated all the Tupperware on all the shelves into those 2 totes. And it didn't gain me because all I had to do to fit the totes was move this item, and then I had the space available to do it. So it wasn't a big deal, but it didn't gain me a lot of space on shelves. A little bit over in this area opened up, but not a ton. But what it did is that now, when I have something on this shelf that normally I have to crawl on the floor for, I just pull it out, grab the item, and slide it back. Which, for my back, is worth every second I spent doing that. Like I said, didn't buy me a ton of space, but it reduced a lot of effort in the future. Also, while I was doing it, I decided that, kind of like I do with the books, where I'm going to have a max. This will be the end. If that bottom shelf, if B1 ever is full of Tupperware, and I can't fit any more Tupperware, then I'm going to go back to the stuff I have listed and reassess. Either I'll pull some out to do a lot, or I'll pull some out to put into the garage sale, because I have stuff in there that's not so great, like your Russian nesting doll canisters. Like I have the green canister, but it's got an orange lid. That might not ever sell, who knows. So if I ever run out of Tupperware space, I will now reassess and do away with some, or do like a clear out, or put it on my local marketplace for real cheap. I even pulled out 2 items while I was rearranging, and just kind of, the 10% sale was running and they were below $9 free shipping. So I said, bleh, just get these out of here. That's a waste. Shouldn't have done it in the first place. Next thing going out is B3B Vintage Hickok cufflinks. And this is going to be a little bit of a challenge. We did do something better than this going forward, but let me just go off at a tangent on a little story here. Went to an estate sale over the weekend. I went on the first day, which was actually Thursday, last Thursday. And you know how estate sales go. Everything on the first day, it's too much money. No matter what it is, if you're not buying something for your personal home, furniture or whatever, it's too much money. You're getting a good deal if it's for you, but beyond for resale, it's not even worth it. So I went there, and on the drive there, I tell my dad, because we went together, my goal is to buy one item. I'm going to go through this whole house, and I'm going to buy one item, because it was the first day, and I knew everything was going to be overpriced, but I knew I needed to buy something. I was going to buy something. It was going to happen. And so when I put that on myself, I kept looking at items like, ooh, I would normally buy that. I wasn't even looking at prices, because I was just looking going, okay, if I come back on Sunday when everything's half off or even below half off, they'll make deals, and that's still here, I'll buy that. And I went through and I did that. Okay, I would buy that, but I didn't even look at the prices, because it didn't matter. No matter how good the item was, it was going to be too much money to make any profits. And then I found my one item, and my one item was this big old freezer bag that had, let me see, roughly 31 items that we currently have listed. And then there's still a couple watches that need batteries in them to test them out. Probably another 20 items, but probably only another 10 listings, somewhere in that range. So about 40 listings out of a bag this big. Well, actually, the bag was this big, but it was not even close to full. That doesn't really matter. Point being, I paid $30 for the whole bag. Got 40 plus listings. And I did the math. The stuff we have listed already, total listings, $526. Fees, $79. Shipping costs, because it's all going to be free shippers, $124. And that's an estimate. I estimated $4 a piece. Some will be under $4, some will be over $4. But that'll be depending on location, not depending on weight. They're all under 4 ounces. Cost of goods, $30. For a total profit, $293. And it takes up this, which isn't how it's going to go from now on. And so I'm assuming another, $25 to $50 for the stuff that's left, probably more, but over $300 in profit, not in lists, in profit. But here is the solution that I came up with, because I was like, oof, this is getting rough, and we're switching over to littles. I'm going to start looking out for tackle boxes, just these little tackle box inserts, because I could stack, how many do you think I could stack? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, because then I could do two deep. So at least I could stack 50 of these on one shelf, 50 of these. And then each compartment doesn't have just one listing in it, because things are different. You can tell that that's a pin for boxing, and that's a pin that's a railroad spike. They're not even close to the same thing. If I get 50 of those on this shelf, 2 deep, where, keep them organized, where you slide this one out, it's the one right behind it, and so forth. 18 compartments. You're talking 36 items per. Let's do some math. I haven't done this yet, so let's find out together. 36 items per times 50 of them. That's 1,800 listings on one shelf. Again, another check mark to my thought that smaller is much better when it comes to eBay. So let me go ahead and pull this one out. All right, it's these ones right here. These are actually pretty heavy duty. These are nice. But that was the thing. I saw it and I just picked it up and I went, oh, these aren't like chintzy throw-in cuffs when you rent a suit. These are like real, I went to a store and paid money cufflinks. And the gentleman also had a bunch of suit coats at his house. I'll never buy clothes again. I'll get to that story later. So for that one, $14.99 free shipping. So right there, third of it already paid for. But you see also why I had to come up with a different solution. That's too much time, too much effort. You put a little bit of effort up front and it makes everything more smooth the rest of the way. Not to throw Jen under the bus, but when I was trying to convince her that that was a good thing to do, she said, well, why don't we just worry about that later? I said, well, later ends up being a problem. Because for myself, I did this. When I started, I just put all my stuff on a shelf. I was like, I only got 100 listings. I can find it. Who cares? But then as it grows and grows and grows, all of a sudden you go, oh, wow, this is taking me a long time to find this. I wish I had some type of system. And as soon as I switched over, I said, this is dumb. I should have done this from the very beginning. I don't care if you got one item. If you got that one item, start with a category system, and then it's already implemented. If you never grow to the point of needing it, so be it. If you do, you will be beyond happy that you took some steps to make your life easier in the long run. Don't wait till you have 1,000 listings and then go, well, I should probably figure this out. Let me spend a week trying to reorganize and go in and change all the SKU numbers. Just start from the beginning, have some type of system, and if it changes, but have something. Next thing going out, C1A is a vintage Bakelite bottle opener. C1A right here. And very cool Bakelite handle, not a ton of money. That was one of those items, I picked it up, I knew I could recognize Bakelite to a degree. And then there is a way to test Bakelite. I'll actually, at the end of this video, I will link my video where I show you how to test Bakelite. It's very simple. But for that item, $8.49 free shipping. So, you know, not really worth it for most people. Even for me, that's a little on the border. But I don't know. I guess I was just assuming Bakelite, it was going to be worth money. I guess they made a bunch of them. Next thing going out on D1 is an RF modulator video converter. D1, this one right here. And you'll get these for free at a garage sale. People are just trying to get rid of them. These will always be in the free box. I'm not saying you should or shouldn't pick them up, but $11.69 free shipping. If I saw that for free, I'd probably still get it. Now, free shipping, yeah, it's close. I'll wrap it in 2 pieces of medium bubble and put it in a poly bag. Because if you put that in a box, it's going to be over. Over the limit. Not over as in it's over. You're out of business. Next thing going out, A3 is a Duck brand window kit right here. I'll just grab this one off the top. I think I sold, I don't know, 10 of them? 10 of them over the little break I took. But for that one, $10.79 free shipping. And why I say I'm not making any money is because I paid $4 a piece for them. So $4, and then the shipping ends up being around $4, $4 or $5, depending on where it goes. So, I mean, that's no money. I'm making no money. But I was negative money. That's the point. When I say I'm making no money, at least I'm breaking even. At least I'm recouping that money on a bad buy that I shouldn't have spent. Now, take your lumps, recoup as much money as you can, spend that money on things that are better, that are more worth selling. And next thing going out is B3B. I left it here on purpose. Black and silver tone, double-sided. All right, and it again was a pain to dig them out and find them, so moving forward, the tackle boxes is the way to go. But it's these ones right here, vintage, Victorian-looking cuffs and button thingies. I don't know what these are. I'm not fancy. But for those ones right there, I can get you a decent picture right there, $19.99 free shipping. So we are already up to $25 recouped, 5 more bucks to go, and then the rest of it is profit. Love it. Love it. I'm good at this. I'm good at this. Pat myself on the back. I'm good at this. And it's not that I knew something about cufflinks. I knew that in that bag was 50 listings, possibly listings, and then I knew by picking it up and kind of just looking at them that they were some vintage, some just looked quality, just being able to see quality. That's where it's at. All right, next thing going out on D5. Give me 1 second to grab it. There's a bunch of pieces. All right, and next thing going out from D5 is a Wii bundle with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games, 1 controller, nunchuck, all your other bits and pieces. And that's actually going out to a viewer, Babeout Homestead. That's not their real name, but I didn't catch their real name. I don't think in the messages. I don't think we did that. But because you're a viewer, I'm going to throw a sticker in there, and I'm going to put it there now because I always intend to do that for viewer sales, and then I always totally forget, and I'm not going to open the package to throw it in. I'm not that guy. I'm sorry. I'd rather send you it with a stamp later on. Before that bundle, $60 plus shipping going out the door. Next thing going out, B1B is Tupperware micro steamer lid. I don't think that's what it said. These ones right here. And I also realized that when I was putting those totes down there and filling them up, that won't work for other stuff. Because if I fill those up the way I filled them up with Tupperware, with literally anything else besides Tupperware, they'd be heavy. And I don't want that either. So it's basically, if all of a sudden I had a bunch of plush, I'd probably do it. Maybe shoes, I would consider it. Which I don't know if I ever mentioned this. I did end up putting a shoe rack that we had in the house that one of the shelves broke off of. It wasn't really getting used anyways. And I moved a bunch of shoes to it. That actually opened up a lot of space. That was very helpful. Tupperware micro steam vented crystal wave lids. It's a lot of 5 of them. And for that, $24.99 free shipping. The lids are where it's at for sure. Next thing going out, C1 is a bits and pieces puzzle. C1. Almost fell down. Luckily, I was close to the ground. All right, C1 bits and pieces. It's got some cardinals, and then I think those are baby cardinals. So it's a little cardinal family. And for that item, $7.75 plus shipping. Also, this time of year, puzzles. As soon as it starts getting cold, if you have puzzles unlisted, list them. If you have puzzles in your store, make sure your listings are keyworded well, up to date. And if they've been up for a long time and you haven't done a sell similar or anything else, go into your puzzles and just tinker. Do something. It will update your listing. It'll move it up to the front. And like I said, as soon as it starts getting cold, puzzles start picking up. I used to sell a bunch of them. Then my local thrift shops raised the prices. And now I got to find a rare puzzle for it to be worth it, because if I'm paying $4.99 or $5.99 for that, I can't get $7.75. That's not going to happen. And then next thing going out, here's a good one. On the desk is Jordan Jumpman 2 Obsidian. It's actually this one right here. I don't want to do the old pull. The boxes are a little weaker than I imagined. I had one of the boxes start just crushing just from sitting there, which I thought was weird, but is what it is. But for these right here, Jordan Jumpman 2, $199.99 plus shipping. Love it, love it, love it. I do anticipate the shoes doing well from here until mid-January, somewhere in there. Because you do get a little carryover after Christmas because people get money, or they get a gift that promotes them to purchase more things. Like say you get a Wii bundle for Christmas, those people are likely to, after Christmas, buy Wii games or buy Wii controllers, things like that. So there's always a few weeks after Christmas that you actually, at least for me, sales still are really good. So for those $199.99 plus shipping, going through authentication, and I did get an email from eBay saying that they've worked out a deal with, I think, FedEx, that they're not going to charge shipping from the authentication locations. So the buyer, because you don't see how much that's costing the buyer is paying you for the item, the shoes, and then they're paying you for the shipping to authentication. They are also paying for the shipping from authentication, which now eBay says they've worked out where it's going to be free shipping for them from authentication. So their overall total price will be cheaper Therefore, you are more likely to sell your shoes. So I'm okay with that. I don't have to do anything, and it might increase my sales. So those things I'm always on board for. No work, possible more money. Sounds good to me. Next thing going out, Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 Dark Alliance for Xbox. And this one could have been a little better money if they were, for one, complete. And if this one had if Baldur's Gate 1 had its actual insert there, it would have been, another $10, $15 than what I got, which was $22.99 free shipping. And then last thing going out, B2 Vintage 1977 Wilton Cake Decoration Batman. I think this is the one that's just the Batman. So it's the Batman face and the Batman chest piece. And then for those of you who were around for the debate, here are still the instructions that the Wilton Cake Company or whatever, where it would show you how to decorate to make it a Batman or a Superman. And Jen and I debated over whether or not this should have been included in one of the listings. And the consensus from you out there was, yes, we should have, or list it separately now. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to throw it in with this listing right here. And it's going to be a pleasant surprise to whoever that buyer is. $11.99 free shipping, mostly because I know if I don't get rid of it now, it's going to sit there forever. That's just kind of how we do it. But speaking of sitting there forever, that'll bring us to tip of the day. And the tip of the day is if you find that there's an item or a niche that you struggle to get listed, you buy it and then it sits around, stop buying it. Don't buy it. Just don't do it. There are too many things to list that if there's a single category that you hate, a single category that you just don't do the work, you begrudgingly get to it eventually, maybe, or you just pile it up forever, stop buying that item. Just doesn't matter how much it's worth. Just cross off the list. Say, I don't deal in that department because X, Y, Z. And for us, going forward, that is clothing. If you'll notice, the clothing rack is empty. The pile of clothes that was over here is gone. I had a box over here that had buckskins in it that had been sitting there forever. There was a blanket that was the Roseanne back of the couch style blanket. So decent money. But for Jen and I, those are just those items that we don't list it because it's such a pain for us because we have to change everything about the day. We have to take our photo. We don't have a big enough area for photos down here. We can do it on the floor, but then we got to use photo room. It takes a bunch of extra time because I'm not paying $79.99 for photo room. That's not happening. I'm actually hoping at some point that maybe my YouTube channel gets big enough where they offer a sponsorship that literally all they do is give me free photo room. I'd be all on board for that, but I'm not paying for it. That's, in my opinion, that's too much money for what I get out of it. I just won't do it. But the point of all that is it was just never going to get done. So this morning, I made a deal with Jen. I said, hey, we went up to the bedroom. We took the photo station up there we had the lights set up. She was on the camera. I was bagging and labeling and just did it all. Just took all the pictures, bagged it all up, labeled it all, and everything we ended up listing fit in that tote and in that box. And then the blanket didn't fit because it's real big. So that's up here. And I said, if we just knock it out today, let's just do it all. I'll never buy a clothing item again. Never again. Even though we probably did, depending on, I'm not sure on the buck skins yet, the doe skins. I'm not sure if it's a buck or a doe. Doesn't matter. The deer skins, there we go. Somewhere between $700 and $1,000 in listings today. Like a significant amount of money, but never going to do it again because they just sit around. What's the point? They're worth zero if you don't list them. Snowmobile suit. Had a vintage Arctic Cat snowmobile suit. The bibs, almost $100. The coat, $70. The other coat, $60. Like it was good money. There was a ton of money sitting around, but I'll say it again. If you don't list it, it is worth goose egg. Zero. So just pass. I don't like it. Jen hates listing video games. I don't understand it, but she hates listing video games. I tell her, don't do it then. Don't begrudgingly do 5 listings when, like the jewelry, I hate that. The little tiny, taking the little pictures and having to do the measure, like putting a quarter by it and all. I don't know. I just don't like it. It doesn't have a barcode, so it's harder. So she loves it. I show up with a bag of cufflinks and she goes, ooh, it's a treasure hunt. She loves digging in. Find the things that you enjoy doing. Find the things that you are willing to put the extra work in, and you'll be better off. Spend more time finding the things you want to list instead of spending time not listing those things that you despise listing. So for me, glassware, out. Almost, I would say 90% of glassware is out for me. Clothing, 100% out. I am out because I won't list it. And that's okay. I give you permission to not buy it and not list it. Well, that's going to be all for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. Subscribe, share, and be good to each other.